matching hundreds. It's the coach. This is the 2019 season on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Oakland Raiders. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. The pregame festivities here in Oakland have to be seen to be believed. This crowd in silver and black, they are fired up as their Raiders get set to face off with the Kansas City Chiefs. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They come in off a loss in the season opener, which doubled as the home opener.
And when you lose that way, at home, season opener, it almost feels like two losses. So it's a big fight to get yourselves ready to go to play the next week.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Chiefs, they come off a good win in the opener on the road, and they get a second road game here.
Yeah, the schedule makers didn't really do them any favors, but if they can win here and get to 2-0 on the road, they could be well set up for the rest of the year.
The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Derek Carr is set and ready to roll as he leads the Raiders out onto the field. Carr in his sixth season, 28 years of age, former second-round pick back in 2014, and a lot of people feel this is a critical season for Derek Carr as a Raider. Remember, there were whispers that the Raiders might be in the market for a QB in the draft, even contemplated maybe making a run at Kyler Murray, but in the end, they stood pat with Derek Carr, hoping that he's the long-term answer. They'll run it with Jackson. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. The numbers for Jackson in last week's game, there isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100. Yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that kind of production.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. It's a jet sweep. This is Renfro. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Let's go, D. Let's go. Back.
On 2nd down now. It's Jackson. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Let's go, defense.
From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr able to find Waller. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. 2nd year in Oakland for Waller after being signed off the Ravens practice squad, but only 6. Catches 75 yards a season ago. Then he got a lot of hype in the offseason following OTAs. Their offensive coordinator saying, Darren, you have that position. Coach Gruden went as far as to say, Darren, you have the chance of a lifetime here. Well, now it's time for Darren Waller to go out there and prove it. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Tyrell Williams, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So here are the Chiefs now as they get set for their opening drive. Leading them out, the reigning MVP of the National Football League, Patrick Mahomes, in his 3rd season now out of Texas Tech. And few players have had the spotlight focused on them quite like Patrick Mahomes. But this is a guy that says he wants that attention. He's okay with a target on his back. We saw how electric he can be in 2018, and he wants to continue that into 2019 and beyond. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They start the drive with a give to Allen. Able to slither by. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. And quickly now, a look at the Kansas City offense.
The play and production of tight end Travis Kelce demands that we talk about him even more. Not only is he now a perennial All-Pro and Pro Bowl type player, he's one of those guys that makes defenses adjust each and every time he's on the field. And while they do that, he still finds ways to beat them downfield.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Mahomes, his throw incomplete. The rookie first-rounder Jonathan Abram there to knock it away. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. And this is going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you...
And the Chiefs are going to get him. Flying in to blow that play up, Alex Okafor.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blank. Everyone took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got a look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now a carry for Allen. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Flush to his right. He is going to find Hill here. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a 1st down with a nice throw.
Here's Mahomes to throw. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Mecole Hardman, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts, and then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
That one good for 13 and a Raider 1st down.
For these Raiders and quarterback Derek Carr, the Chiefs, they have been their kryptonite in the AFC West. With Derek Carr as a starter, just 2-8 against KC, 2-6 before Mahomes became the starter. Well, the road not likely to get any easier anytime soon. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
Sit down. Blue 80. Come do. Hey, watch the slant. Kill.
Now on 2nd and 13. Carr. It's caught by Jackson.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Mike. Monday, down. Blue 80. Mike. You don't know no better. Blue 80.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. These two teams all tied after 1. Here's A.J. Cole now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines.
Here we go.
A reminder coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football, a good one from Atlanta. Eagles and Falcons, 8:20 Eastern. And then tomorrow on Monday Night Football, Odell Beckham back in New York, back in MetLife Stadium. Browns and Jets, 8:15 Eastern on Monday night. The drive starts with a run by Allen. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
On second down, it's Allen, and he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Yellow. I go, Woo, lady. Sunday. You got three down.
They'll run on first down. Allen. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Now they'll throw with Mahomes. And going deep for into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
I know some teams are leery about playing cover 2 because a strong safety's not usually a terrific cover guy. But in this case, he played it perfectly. Read the football and went and made the interception.
Carr and the Raiders come up first and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll start here with Jackson. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Carr. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Max Crosby brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. They'll run with Allen. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked by Darryl Worley. Nico Hardman, the intended target.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll begin the drive with Jackson on the ground. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Throwing on second down. Carr. The open man here, run throw. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 35-yard line. To throw his car. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Alex Okafor able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just...
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. And that one will be no good. He never had it online. It's well wide to the left. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. With Pro Bowler Tyreek Hill, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Mahomes. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 12 yards and a Kansas City first. Hardman, the 2nd-round pick out of Georgia, really showcased his speed at the combine, running a 4.3 340. And should help give Patrick Mahomes another versatile playmaker to work with at the receiver position. Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. That one complete to Hill. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time. On 1st down. It's Allen. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Mahomes now to throw. And this is caught by Watkins. And the ball is knocked out, and the Raiders pick it up.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
They run on 1st down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. In on the tackle, Alex Okafor. The final shot here before half for Carr. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Set and ready to go for the 2nd half. 1 touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Working from the gun, Mahomes. They complete it to Hill. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs have taken the lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game. Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
To throw, it's Carr. That's caught by Jackson. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? They run on 1st down with Jackson. Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Throwing now is Carr. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long.
Check 3, check 3, check 3.
Shotgun now for Carr. And that is incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
Come on, fellas.
Down here in the 3rd quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the 2nd miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Allen. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. He's going to air one out. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat. Trick here as this one continues to go. Butker on for the PAT. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Raiders are... offense, they get set to head back on the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, this is Jackson. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
On 3rd down, Carr. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland 1st down. Carr now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. On the run, this is Jackson. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Here we go. Check. Lucky.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Carr completes it. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Now Jackson. The quick feet bunch. Look at this. Middle of the field. A breakaway. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A great effort there. His second touchdown on the season as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Big stop, let's go.
They stay on the ground with Allen. A good run as he works his way for 9 that time, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and just a few inches. He was close to flirting with that sideline, but able to stay in bounds like his coach wants him to do and keep that clock moving.
Isn't it funny that we're watching this play when we had that discussion just yesterday about this? What do you do in this scenario? What do what's your mindset? It appeared to me that he'd totally forgotten that he needed to stay in bounds, and then the last second, oh no, I better get down. And he ended up doing the right thing. But at that point, maybe close to letting it slip away.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run on 1st down. Allen. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Mahomes eluding the pressure right. Completes it to Hardman. He's got daylight. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Mecole Hardman, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
I just grab a nugget when I can.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire at.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Give him 30 yards there.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route well run, and the football right on the money.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. 19 yards there on the catch and run. Fifth catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Carr again here on 2nd and 10. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not. And they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. He's having a nice little game. Maybe already has an eye on that 3rd touchdown.
And how about what our producer, Christian McLeod, likes to say when they've scored touchdowns like this? He's put a tent up in Touchdown City.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This will be taken in at the 1. And now here comes Kansas City. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent.
And nothing but daylight ahead. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Carr now on 1st down. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Give them 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down. Derek Carr, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks for the Raiders last year, and they only won 4 games total, so they've got some experience dealing with tight ones. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards. So with a yardage on that completion, he's now right at exactly 300 yards on the game.
And isn't that the magic number you get, all right, 300? That means it's going to go on a commemorative football to put on your mantle when they give you the game ball if your team wins.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Darren Waller, his first touchdown of the new season, as his guys are back within a single score. So very late in the game here, but with that score, some light at the end of the tunnel.
There's still hope. Now they look at the score and say, hold on a second. This thing's not over yet. Let's keep battling.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Here's Allen. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. This is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. On third down, it's Allen. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On first down, Allen. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And finally marked down at the 23. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Hey, 43, 15.
They'll run on first down. It's Allen. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. It's 1st and goal and a late touchdown at this stage. Could officially salt this one away. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit. Closer here for a 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the Raiders' 3-yard
On 2nd and goal, standing alone in the backfield is Williams. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here.